From the top of Lamites Amid Bees. From the top of Lamites Amid Bees, or actually, excuse me, halfway down Lamites Amid Bees. Ihachi.
Up to here.
Ihachi. We're going to pick up there because it's really a new Inyan. Whether we did Chazara or we didn't do Chazara, but I do believe the Eilim will chop from that point. Let's Siyat Shemaya. Let's get there. Ihachi. Ihachi. Lulav Nami. So the $1 million kasha that the Olam has been hacking since we started the Mishnah, and the Mishnah made it very clear that our whole sugya was about Esther. Frag to Gemara. What about the Heilige Lulav? So we suggested maybe it's because the Esther is something you eat. And the Olam tainted, what do you mean? You don't eat the Esther. What about the Lulav? So now it says, Gemara, what about the Lulav? Yachi Lulav Nami. So the Gemara is a fascinating teretz. Lulav bar shishis hanichnas lashvius. The lulav is a 6th year lulav that entered into the 7th year. Meaning, let's understand what this means, and we'll see the details. There's no kedusha shvius. We're standing on Shemitah year Sukkot. Shemitah just started, Rosh Hashanah. So when did your lulav come from?
6th year.
The 6th year. So look at Rashi for a moment. Mishani lulav arshishas enichnas l'shviyasu. Says Rashi, Dal karchach b'chamisha aser yoyim shem mi Rosh Hashanah var Chag, from the 15 days from Rosh Hashanah till Sukkot, like Gadol. The lulav certainly didn't grow in 15 days. V'kaimalana, we hold elon a tree, basar chanota azlinon, goes after the blossoming. So when did it blossom? In the 6th year. Okay. So says the Gemara, one second, I'll just think. Oh, Iachi, very good. It's also 50 days Rosh Hashanah for your Esrog. Iachi Esrog Nami Bas. Shishes Anichmas the Shviasi. Answer the Gemara, fundamental difference between a fruit and a tree. Esrog basar lekita azlinon. And Esrog goes after the picking, period. Now the reason for that, Rashi starts getting involved. It has to do with it's a vegetable, it's a fruit, the water it grows on. End of the day, it goes when you pick it. Okay, Kishmak. So we were partially right.
When are you picking it?
Right before. Oh, so that's an interesting detail that the Gemara doesn't really get involved in.
You picked it after Rosh Hashanah or before?
Yeah, so l'chayr, when do you pick it? L'chayr before Rosh Hashanah. I mean, that'd be a little bit bizarre. But wait. So the Gemara is assuming, which is just interesting. The Gemara is assuming that you picked it after Rosh Hashanah. You know, interesting. On the year of Shemitah.
So you're picking fruit from the 6th year, and you're just picking it.
Yeah, but the esrog has to go by the picking. So that's what the Gemara is assuming why the esrog has kedusha shvius. The reason it's interesting is, really, right before Yantiv, everyone's picking an esrog. It's like a little bit bizarre.
The first, what's Rosh Hashanah? That's when most people go to buy their.
But they're picking it. We're talking about picking up the tree. So
first mitzvah after Rosh Hashanah.
So okay, it could be that.
In this case, what we're saying, you can't tell it is you pick it after.
That's what it has to be. That's what it has to be. Let's leave it for that for a moment. Says the Gemara. 1 second. You're telling me it goes by the picking. V'habein Rav Gamliel, ubein Reb Eliezer. Whether you hold like Rav Gamliel, whether you hold Reb Eliezer. Rashi, 3 lines from the bottom, points out what's Rav Eliezer, what's Rav Gamliel. Dafilu be'esroig le'inyin meiser. I'm sorry? Dafligu. Thank you. Just leave out one word and the whole thing gets messed up. Thank you. Dafligu be'esroig le'inyin meiser. They argue, Polig, they argue by an esroig regarding meiser, but my die they admit le'inyin shvius regarding shemitah. They what? Basar chanota azlinon. It goes by the blossoming and not the picking. So ask the Gemara, where did you get your shtickle that it comes from the picking? V'abein Rav Gamliel bein Rav Eliezer le'inyan shvius esig basar chanota azlinon. The garden to Shemitah goes by the blossoming. Ditinan, like we learned in a Mishnah. Esrog shavel elon. An esrog is like a tree. Begimel drachim in 3 ways. Uliyarek, and it's like a vegetable. B'derech echad in 1 way. Explains the Mishnah. This sounds a little bit familiar. This might be nostalgic back from high school. This is Gemara in Kedushin, Daf Beis and Beis. So you ever learn Kedushin in high school?
Wondering why.
Yeah. You ever learn Kedushin in high school? It's like one of those things, like it just sort of might have stuck back there. We don't really know what it is. Says the Gemara, Esrik Shavel Ilan Begimel Drach. Uli Yarek B'derech Ech. Shavel Ilan Begimel Drachim. For what 3 things? La Arla. For Arla. Uli Ravai. And for Net Ravai. Uli Shvias. Period. Those are 3 halachos. Uli Yarek. And esrog is like a vegetable, but derech echad. That what? Shebishas likitasai, at the time of its picking, isuroi is the meiser. That the meiser goes by when you pick it. Meiser. Divrei Rabbi Gamliel. Rabbi Eliezer Omer. Esrog shavel elon. L'chol davar. So ask the Gemara. I don't understand. You're telling me what? That an esser goes by when you pick it. But both Rav Gamliel and Rav Eliezer both agree that with regarding to Shemitah, it goes after the chanata, the blossoming. Answers the Gemara. Hu di Amar. And Rashi, beautifully, look at Rashi. Rashi's like 15 lines down in the narrow lines. Hu di Amar. Tano de Masnison. De Makbira Eser. Rashi sort of is the ultimate Rebbe. Hu di Amar, he says. Who says? We had 2 Mishnayos, right? We have our Mishnah. And then we have the Mishnah that we just quoted. We have our Mishnah that says an Esther gets Kedusha Shvius. And we have the Mishnah over there that Rav Eliezer and Rav Gamliel both agree. It goes by the blossoming. So answers the Gemara, Hu Damar, he holds Ki Haitano, like the following Tana. Titanya, we learned in a Braisa. Omar Rabbi Yosi Avatulmis, that's his name. Hey, he testified, Misham Chamisha Zekinim, in the name of 5 elders, Zekinim. Esroig, Achar Lekita Lemaiser. Esr goes by the picking from Meiser. V'Rabboiseinu Nimnu Be'usha, and the Rabbanan appointed or counted in Usha, that's a place. Va'amru, and they said, Bein Lemaiser, Bein Lishvius. That what? Goes by the Lakita. Very good. So in as much as we're asking, Rav Gamliel, Rav Eliezer, say it doesn't go by the picking, it rather goes by the blossoming. Says the Gemara, we have an opinion that says it goes by the picking.
The original question that didn't grow in those 15 days, didn't blossom.
But it was picked then. That's what we're answering. That our Mishnah that says the Esrog has Kedusha and not the Lulav is because the Lulav goes back from when it grew, which was in the 6th year. The Esrog goes by when it was picked, according to this opinion. Correct. Let's just go a drop further. I know it's a lot, but this is a strictly easy reading, and we'll have time to chazer. Says the Gemara. 1 second. Shvius. Man dechar shmei. Who mentioned Shemitah? This is going back on what we just said. We just quoted a brisa. Go back up a moment. Amar Rav Yosi of Tilmis. Hey, Mishav Chamisha Zekinim Ba'usha. Va'amru, Bein Lamaiser, Bein L'Shvius. Who mentioned anything about Shvius in that brisa? Why are you bringing up Shemitah? That brisa is a Mishnah about Meiser, right? Look at the top line of the Gemara. What did the top line of the Gemara say? Shebishas likitasai isurai was Meiser. So I asked the Gemara on that brisa, who mentioned anything about Shemitah? It's a classical Gemara. The Gemara answers, no, we have to shtup a few extra words in. Chasure mechsra v'achi gatani. Chasuri mechsra, there's something missing. V'achi gatani, this is what you have to add in. You have to add in some missing words. Esroig achar lekita lemaiser. Ve'achar chanata leshvius. That's the first opinion. The first opinion holds that an Esther goes by the picking for a meiser and goes by the blasphemy for Shemitah. Yes, exactly. V'rabboiseinu nimnu be'usha ve'amru Esther basar lekita bein lemeiser bein le'shvius. Period. Stop here. Gemara is going to continue going a little bit deeper into the why what we just said is accurate. More Shemitah stuff, but let's stop over here. So again, we right now have so we have 2.5 lots of the parak, which is very exciting. We have an extended weekend. Let's try to go back to Lameches Amid Aleph. If anyone remembers tomorrow morning, shoot me a message. I'll happily put out a voice note. I mean, someone else could do it also. But I don't mind. From Lameches Amid Aleph, maybe tomorrow we'll try to do Lameches Amid Aleph till,
Which Mishnah?
The bottom Mishnah, which is
Mishaya
Eved Isha. This is really the new sugya about Hallel, and that's going to go into the, that old Gemara. I think this is a nice piece. It's even though it's really a blot and a half, but it's not that long. So B'siyat Shemaya, let's try to chazia that. And B'siyat Shemaya, Monday we'll pick it up from where we're up to, and we have at least one more week till Yom Tov. One more week to Yom Tov.
We never really answered the Habein Ram Gamliel Bein Ram.
No. So what was the kasha? The kasha was that there's no opinion that also goes by Lakita. And the answer is there is an opinion. The opinion here that says it goes by the Lakita. The Rabbosina Shinim Ba'usha. The whole kasha was, how can you tell me Lakita? Both Rav Gamliel and Rav Lazar says, Bar, you're right, Rav Gamliel, Rav Lazar. There's another opinion over here. Give out